So, Tony, you know what you get when you cross Batman and a Christmas tree?
I don't recall.
Spruce Wayne. Welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. It's Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's take attendance. Tony Fett, are you here tonight?
I am.
Tony Fett is here. Yay! Hello to Tim the Comic Collector. That's a no-show. Hello to Comic Food 2814. That's a no-show. I don't know if those are excused absences or not, but you got two of the fanboys tonight for the greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. It's great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're watching us on the rewind, special thanks to you as well for choosing to spend your time here on Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Tonight, we're doing a Christmas in July theme, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. We'll also be saying hi to folks that have joined us in the live chat, including great friend, the Comic Book G-Spot. Hello, Mr. G. Hello, Robert. Hope you're doing fantastic. I appreciate you checking out the show tonight. It's always great to see you here. And a man that we just had on the show recently as well, Black Swamp Comics. Good to have you. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. So, Tony, how have you been? We haven't done Fanboys in a couple weeks.
We haven't. It's been an interesting time, at least here for me. I had COVID again, so I'm on the tail end of that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. I don't care if I get COVID, but unfortunately, my kids got it too. So, as a parent, that was pretty rough. Trying to get them to sleep, but we're past that hump. Everything's like 99% back to normal. So it's feeling good. I'm past the point of quarantining. I can go out into public, and I was able to hit a convention, which was awesome.
Tell me about it. How was it?
It was awful.
It was awful. Okay.
It was the worst. And this is a super local convention to us. I don't want to say which one because
fair enough.
I'm not friends with the people who run it, but I know them, and they run a few cons in the area. I don't know why they did this, but the venue was absolutely atrocious.
Really?
They rented out. When we think conventions, we're thinking convention halls. Sometimes they're in hotels, but we think like maybe there's going to be this huge room or whatever. But this was more like a comic book conference. And I say that because the room was literally a conference room. It was so small. The line just to get in the door wrapped all the way around the hotel and came around the other side. It was absolutely like shoulder to shoulder. Even if it wasn't a COVID-like scenario, just like breathing in the convention funk, you definitely don't want to do. And for some unknown reason, they put there's a small narrow hallway leading into the comic conference room. They lined that hallway with vendors. So if you wanted to stop and look at the wares of a vendor, you were blocking essentially one lane of traffic. So they had to go around you, which the other people coming the other way had to stop. And all you were doing was just checking out what someone has for sale. And then when you get into the conference, it was awful. Like it was completely disorganized, and you were trying to find the guests. Normally they're like, "Hey, here's your guy right here, big sign." Nope, zero, no sign, nothing. You just had to. I actually had to look somebody up so I could see their face, so I could be like, "Oh, that's who that is."
Wow,
completely disorganized.
Didn't you tell me yesterday, because we were chatting, I was asking you how it was going. Didn't you tell me that one of the guests that you were really excited about
Yes. On top of this really awful experience Sunday, the cherry was the one guest who I really wanted to show up bailed at the last minute.
And they
And
didn't tell anyone ahead of time.
nobody said anything. To me, it was last minute, but I guess it was, well enough in advance where they could have made some kind of social media post, but it was absolute radio silent. And I know why they did it. So, because he
Yeah.
was the
Well, I know
big
why they
draw,
didn't too. Yeah.
because otherwise no one would have showed up.
Yeah.
But had I known he wasn't going to be there, I never would have wasted the $10 at the door. I'm all about supporting local vendors, and that's one thing they did well is they got all the local vendors in. The problem is they shoved as many local vendors into this tiny room and then put a tiny piece of tape and it's like ready to burst at the seams. They were actually stopping people from coming into the convention. So like when 2 people leave, 2 people were allowed to go in. So I was there with my mom and my 2 kids and my brother. So we had to wait for 5 people to leave so we could go in. So it was absolute chaos.
Did you find anything, or how were the prices?
Prices were expected, about where
Okay.
you would expect them to be. No one tried to pull a fast one on me. I felt the prices were fair, but I don't know. If you hate the sense of being rushed, like this was not a good convention because you felt like you were in everybody's way all the time. And that's how I felt. That was just, people were just like, I could feel them staring daggers at me because I'm here with the stroller. I got nowhere to go. So I'm just standing there waiting for somebody to move so I can keep going.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad, but word of advice, sometimes they do watch. I love you guys, but do not do that venue again. That was a really bad idea. I'm sure the price was right, but no, you get what you pay for.
It's true. Let's say hello to some other folks who have joined us since the show started. Jedi Farce is here. Good to see you stopping by. Had a good talk with Jedi Farce on Instagram a couple days ago, so that was nice. James has stopped by, Warlord.
Warlord.
Yeah, aka the Glitter Lord.
Glitter Lord, that's
Yeah.
right.
Paul S is here. Paul doesn't, well, maybe Paul knows this. I'm not sure or not. He left a comment recently, in the last several weeks on one of my cover buy videos with a book that it was a DC book that he said, you should do this on cover buy. Paul, we are. We're going to use your suggestion in a future cover buy. It's coming up probably next month. So look for that soon.
Very cool.
So thank you all for joining us.
Full disclosure, we're getting a huge thunderstorm right now. So if I just power goes out, just keep going.
Yeah, we just keep going.
Yep. I'll join on my phone or something.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just stretch. You know what I'll do? I'll do an interview with Tim or Comic Fu at that time.
There you go. And yes, Black Swap Comics, you are correct. A stroller is perfect for a short box. Mine fit right underneath. Perfect. Yeah. Like it was built for it. It was amazing.
Nice. Well, what's going on with DC Comics news?
Oh, man.
We should have a lot to talk about, a couple weeks worth.
Yes. So potential spoiler alert for the Black Adam movie. So if you're as excited about it as I am, and you don't want any kind of speculation or possible spoilers, this is your warning. So apparently at the end of the movie, I don't know if they're talking end of the movie or end credits or what, but at the end somewhere, there's a cameo of Superman.
Really?
And go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So at the end of the movie, there's a potential cameo Superman. I don't know if we're talking like Shazam, where you couldn't really see like from the neck down, or if it's in the distance, or if it's on the television, but it sets up, from what I understand, in a huge way, Black Adam versus Superman. It puts them in direct conflict with each other. And so I don't know how, but apparently it sets them up. So we'll see. I think it would be great. I love Henry Cavill Superman. I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson's gonna knock it out of the park as Black Adam. So this is, if anyone at Warner Brothers listening, this is a huge opportunity to put butts in seats and sell tickets to a movie.
Well, what I was going to say is, didn't we talk about on Fanboys last year that it was rumored that, or I won't even say rumored, maybe even confirmed in a sense that Gal Gadot was doing a cameo in like 2 upcoming DC movies, and wasn't Black Adam one of them?
Potentially, and the other one was Shazam.
Okay.
That would be interesting. Apparently, though, that's a great segue. In the Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, which is coming out very soon, it's confirmed that there's a Wonder Woman cameo. But from what it sounds like, it could be either a dream sequence, like he's just dreaming about Wonder Woman, because he's a teenage boy, and who isn't going to dream about Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that would be the comedy.
Yeah, right. Or there's a potential meeting between them, but apparently at the end of Shazam 2 lines him up to either join the Justice League or meet the Justice League in a big way. So again, that's just word on the street. There's the Shazam one is kind of soft confirmed because that movie's coming out very soon. But the Black Adam one is hopefully true. And I do know that Henry Cavill and Dwayne Johnson are really good friends outside of movie business. And Dwayne Johnson said the only reason he came to Warner Brothers was because of Henry Cavill. So, and it sounds like Henry Cavill's Superman for the long run, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. There was one other article. I got to find it now.
By the way, Mr. G wanted to know what you got at the con that you were looking for.
We are going to talk about that at the book show.
At the book show. Okay, so at the end of the show, you'll find out.
Yes.
Hey, Ben Compton, thanks for stopping by today. We appreciate seeing you here.
Where is it? Right here. Not DC news, but the guy who plays Homelander, I forget his name, is rumored to join the MCU. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
One of the storylines being explored for movie adaptation to help reset the DCEU is Blackest Night.
Interesting.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think that would be very cool.
Don't you think the timing might be off on that, though? Don't you think they should have an established Green Lantern movie or two before they do that?
They plan these things so far out. So remember, they cast Black Adam in 2014. It's 2022, and we're just getting it. So this could be 5+ years down the road. But that's according to this article from where is it? It's from Bleeding Cool. So take it for what it's worth. Blackest Night is apparently being explored to being the big reset button, or to move on to another phase. I'm not sure how they want to do it, but it sounds like this new Discovery Warner Brother merge is getting off to a stutter step, but hopefully they can find some really positive momentum going forward and deliver on something awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring back Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I
wonder if he would do it.
I'll tell you something. At that time that the Green Lantern movie was out, the year that was out,
I liked it.
I actually kind of liked it too. But I'll tell you what I didn't like. You know how they always make calendars for the next year based on the big hit movies? So I got a Green Lantern movie calendar as a Christmas gift, which is cool because I always put in my office at that time at work, I always put a superhero calendar. So I got the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern calendar. There wasn't one picture of Ryan Reynolds dressed as Green Lantern in that calendar. They should have just called it a Ryan Reynolds calendar, because that was a little disappointing.
Yeah. Interesting. he brought up a great point. It sounds like Jeff Johns is doing more work for DC. I know he's doing Flashpoint Beyond, or I forget what it is. The new Flashpoint series. I have it. I haven't read a single issue. But it sounds like he's doing another project, which is fabulous. Big news out of the legal world. I know we talked about this behind the scenes on Instagram. The estates of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman creators are suing Warner Brothers, DC Comics for killing off those characters so they do not have to pay them royalties. But I understand Wonder Woman's a little bit different because of the way that contract was negotiated. But Batman and Superman.
I'll say this really quickly for those
Sure.
that haven't heard this, and it's essentially, it hasn't been confirmed, but a creator who worked on Wonder Woman and the Marsden family has pretty much said, we're not saying that's not true. So here's the deal. When William Moulton Marsden licensed Wonder Woman out to DC Comics, and you keep in mind, this is 1942, okay? He had such a foresight ahead that in the contract, it says that if she is not published X amount of times as a headliner in a title, so like Sensation Comics starring Wonder Woman, or a Wonder Woman comic book, or a miniseries where Wonder Woman is the headliner. But if Wonder Woman is not published X amount of times in a year, DC loses the rights to that character, and it goes back to, we'll go to the estate now of the family. And you might say, well, what does that matter? I mean, Wonder Woman doesn't sell that well. And you have a point there. Her sales aren't huge. However, the money of licensing that they would lose from not having her, because she's great financially for licensing. People know who that is. They look and they know who that character is.
Merchandising is huge.
To do with comic books. That would be a huge loss for them. So,
and that makes sense to me.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Business move to make in 1942.
I can see that being true. Just look at the last 2 years of how much Wonder Woman there's been, and just in comic books. There's been
I'll tell you why
lot.
I also think it's true. You know, at the end of Crisis in 86, before Perez started in 87, they had this gap of window where you know, essentially Wonder Woman died at the end of Crisis. You know, she did. And she was being rebooted the next year, but that's the next year, and we've got to get X amount of books out, you know? They did a miniseries called The Legend of Wonder Woman that Trina Robbins did, and there really was no purpose to, I mean, it didn't tie into Crisis. What's actually kind of interesting about that is the original way Wonder Woman was supposed to be at the end of Crisis is depicted in this miniseries in the first issue. She was supposed to be turned into a statue, or all that existed of her was a statue. And they ended up scrapping that in the long term. I did get a chance to ask George Perez when I met him. I said, well, how were they going to bring her back if she was a statue, you know? Because at this time, he wasn't going to do the book. And he said, we didn't know. We were leaving that for whoever the creator was going to be on the new volume to figure out.
Just kick the can.
Yeah, and then it turned out being him. You know?
That's too funny. Hey, here's a huge problem for you to figure out. Goodbye.
Yeah. Sometimes
That's good.
you just got to get through what's happening at that moment.
Mike, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Appreciate that.
That's interesting, but again, I can see this whole you have to publish Wonder Woman all the time to be true. Look at the Wonder Woman we have right now. We have Wonder Woman and the Amazons. We have the big war in Themyscira. We have Sensational Wonder Woman. We have
Black and Gold.
We have Black and Gold. We had Future State this year, Wonder Woman. So, I mean, just tons and tons and tons of
on
Wonder
Tuesday, an Artemis Wanted one-shot drops. Next month, there's a one-shot on Hippolyta that's dropping.
Okay. So, we have Historia, Wonder Woman Historia.
Yeah, Historia. Yeah, there's still one issue up on that.
Yeah, there's lots of Wonder Woman. So,
Yeah.
And you don't see that with any other character. Like, I don't see that with like someone who else is mainstream, like Aquaman. I don't see a whole lot of. I see Aquaman. I don't see a whole lot of Aquaman as much as I do Wonder Woman. Does DC own Wonder Girl? Good question. That's a good question. I wonder how that would work. Let's say they would lose the rights to Wonder Woman. Do they still get Wonder Girl and the Amazons and Hippolyta? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, Hippolyta came with issue 1 of Wonder Woman, so
That's
I don't
true.
know. You know,
But I mean, like, because Hippolyta is a goddess that's existed before, that's an ancient Greek goddess. So, I mean, you can't really own that. So we'll see. That's a good question. But then again, let's say Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel's estate take back Superman. Who owns Superboy? Who you know what I mean? Like
Supergirl.
Yeah, who owns Supergirl? Yeah. Maybe that's what they're planning to do, just let these characters die. I can't imagine that's the case. That would be really stupid.
I think that would be a shame.
One, it would be not only would it be an absolute shame, it would be probably the dumbest business move in the history of business in the entire planet Earth that has ever existed.
Yeah. So since we're talking DC Comics news, we always talk about Ezra.
Yeah.
What's up with Ezra?
I've heard that before. I've heard that Elliot Page might replace Ezra Miller. I've heard that. I can't imagine that's the case. I could be wrong, and that might be the exact case, and it's definitely going to happen. I can see them doing a Flash movie that's coming on now, not bringing back Ezra Miller, and then somehow introducing a Wally West somewhere. Just straight out, okay, no more Barry Allen. It's Wally now. I could see that.
And at this point, since they made, and it pretty much sounds like they've made this decision that they're not moving forward with Ezra as Flash after this movie, that's probably the right decision to make. If you're don't make another Barry Allen. You could have another Flash, but it doesn't have to be Barry Allen.
Yes. And you know what? I kind of feel betrayed, not by DC, but by Ezra Miller. You know how many lifelong comic book fans have just waited their whole lives for not only live action DC like Justice League movie in this connected universe, but I know lots of diehard Flash fans that they love that we get a Flash TV show, but there's not been a real blockbuster heavy duty budget Flash movie before, and this is the one they're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like it's like season 1 of Swamp Thing all over again. It's canceled before it even hits the theaters, basically.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, from what they say, it's actually a good movie.
Yeah. I've heard that too. It's it's a good movie for what it's worth.
While we're talking on the subject of the Flash, and I don't often get a chance to say this, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do so now. It got canceled because of the budget. It was too expensive of a TV show to produce, but man, I wish that John Wesley Shipp Flash would have had at least another season. That was a pretty decent show.
Yeah.
For its time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And who knows, 50 years in the future, when my great grandchildren are watching TV, like they're going to look at this Grant Gustin Flash, be like, oh man, isn't that so cute? Like they had this technology and you can totally tell now, like who knows, in the future, they might just go get a real life Flash. Just make it somehow. But I agree. The John Wesley Shipp version is amazing. Grant Gustin is a great Flash. And it's a shame that we have this Ezra Miller who, had the whole speedster universe essentially in the palm of his hand. And, he made some life-changing mistake. Not only is he done with Warner Brothers, I'm pretty sure he's done with Hollywood. I think his career is pretty heavy duty over at this point. Just speculation. I can't say, but I can't imagine them bringing him back.
I can't either.
He's too much of a liability, and he's a PR nightmare. Because now here we are, we're talking about the Flash movie. We can't help but talk about Ezra Miller and his mistakes. But what we should be doing is hyping up this movie because there's a lot of good things in it. We have 2 Batman in this movie. This is going to be a great movie, but it's being overshadowed by these terrible tragedies that happened to Ezra Miller.
Well, I mean, they're also saying in this movie we're seeing quick cameos of Christopher Reeve, Linda Carter back in the day, and
yeah,
that's cool.
That is very cool.
I think even don't we also get an Adam West cameo?
Very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something they do, but yeah, it's a shame. Yeah. we got to talk about how bad he screwed up his not only this movie but his whole life and career changed forever. Ezra and Miller should get their own dark universe. Screw it. Put them in the same apartment and put it on reality TV.
Not in my apartment, though.
They'll just be pooping in each other's beds the whole time. That would be funny. I would watch that. That'd be fun.
Is there any other DC news going on?
Not that I found. The rest is all
it's been relatively quiet.
The Netflix Sandman universe is coming very soon. And John Constantine, they've cast. I forget. I tried to find the article, but they've cast him already. I think he was in The Kingsman. The actor that was in The Kingsman. I don't know if you saw those movies, but very cool.
Nice. Hello to Jean.
What's up? But that's it for news. That's all I found.
Yeah, Jean Malo from the Malo Cup family. They don't have Malo Cups in Canada.
They don't.
No. So he doesn't know what he's like. Send me some, and I'm going to someday. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
One thing that Canada has that I'm jealous of: pizza pops.
Oh,
pizza pops, not a Hot Pocket. That's something completely different.
I can go for a pizza pop.
Pizza pop. I spent a lot of time in Canada growing up. My stepmom's from Canada, so we went to Canada a lot. Shout out to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
He said right there, I'm still waiting for Lasso to send me. I'm going to. It's on my to-do list.
Ketchup chips. I don't care for those, but you're right. Ketchup chips. Not my favorite.
Paul, I haven't heard anything yet, but trust me, DC doesn't miss opportunities like this, especially on a character like this, where they can make 50 variant covers of the same issue to sell. I mean, you laugh, Tony, but that Batman Wedding issue 50, there's something like 100+ covers for that.
Yep.
With all the variants and the store exclusives.
Yep.
So I would imagine something I mean, right now they just did the big Detective Comics 1025. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the 1 in 125 incentive cover for that, I've seen it. I've held it in my hands. Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful.
That's crazy. Nuts. That's nuts. 900. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that. Wonder what they're going to do for issue 1000.
Well, tech they've already done issue 1000, but for Batman, I'm sure it'll be something massive, Yeah. Poor little Wonder Woman's still chugging along in the 700s because she had periods where she had years where she was only published bi-monthly.
That's true.
But then she did have a couple years where she was published 2 times a month, in the last couple years. So
Flash is the same way. He's only in the 750s, I think.
No, she's up more like 780s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So I guess we'll segue now into our retro review. And tonight's theme is Christmas in July. And I started to think, when it gets to the holiday season, here at Fanboys, we always take time off to be with our families. And I know a lot of other folks have activities going on, or they're with their families, or have relatives coming in. So we never get to do a Christmas book. And I thought, no, we need to do a Christmas book. So let's do Christmas in July. So that's what we're going to do tonight for the retro review. And Tony said, I'm down for it.
Yep, I'm in.
Yeah. So I'm going to start out tonight's retro review, and I chose a story from the very first DC Comics holiday special that they ever did. So this is I don't know where I was, but someone was talking about this on a message board, and I had never read this story. And I thought to myself, I want to read this story. So that's why I kind of picked this one tonight. I'm trying to pull it up on my iPad too, so I'm stalling. Um,
This looks like an interesting read.
it is. So these holiday specials, if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm trying to get out of this because it pulled up the wrong story. Um, if I'm remembering correctly, 2008. So Christmas of 2008 was the year that this came out. And it was their very first holiday special. And the image that I used on the thumbnail is part of the cover for this. And this is kind of a Justice League story tonight. Here we go, I'm pulling it up. So we're starting out here on page 1. We got Santa Claus up there. You know, he's ho, 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 Merry Christmas. It looks like it's a Christmas parade that's going on. And there's Shaggy Man busting out of this window, and you know he's roar, and Santa's like, "What is sweet Christmas? What's going on?" We have this little boy, I believe that's a boy, who says, "Look, mommy, Chewbacca." And Shaggy Man gets hit with an arrow. So that takes us to the next page where we see that John Stewart, Green Lantern, is teamed up with Arsenal, Roy Harper, and they're taking down the Shaggy Man, and he's starting to feel dizzy. He wonders if Arsenal is an elf, and Arsenal tells him, "Yep, and you're the Cookie Monster." At that time, they get a message from Vixen, who's asking, "Where are you guys at? This party started an hour ago." And John Stewart's like, "We just captured the Shaggy Man." And she's like, "Now? You know, you couldn't wait until after the holidays. I've been planning this for 2 months. It's the one time we all can get together. Now you're going to have to take him to Star Security, fill out all the reports and sign the papers. It's going to take forever. Can't you at least get Roy over here? I need him." And Roy's like, "Why?" And Vixen's like, "Nobody knows how to have fun in this crowd. All they know how to do is fight. I tell you, I should have never made Batman the door greeter." So Arsenal at that point realizes that Shaggy Man is getting friendly with Rudolph. So we cut to the party that's going on inside the JLA satellite, and Wonder Woman is saying hi to Flash. Apparently, it's been a while since they've seen each other. Firestorm has he's spiked the drink, to say the least. So we have Vixen who says, "Okay, let's decorate the tree." Flash grabs all the ornaments. A couple seconds later, it's all done. And she's like, "Well, this was supposed to be like a group effort thing. We're supposed to have fun doing this together. You know, kind of where's your holiday spirit?" And holiday spirit says right here we are. And it's Arsenal and John Stewart. Let the party begin. They brought Shaggy Man, and they're all wearing Santa hats. Well,
That's
instantly the Justice League is ready to spring into action, you know, and then like, whoa, 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 hold on, he's okay. You know, we got him on tranquilizers, enough to knock out Cincinnati. He's very harmless. And Shaggy Man is like, "Munchies!" So he's going for the food, specifically Diana's fruitcake, according to Superman. And apparently it's not a big hit because Green Arrow says, "Better him than me." So John Stewart says, "We're going to drop him off at Star Labs, but they're having an office party." And she's like, "So you bring him to ours? You know, he's a maniac. He's a beast." And Black Canary says, "He's shedding too." Ooh.
He's shedding.
Yep. And, you know, Arsenal's like, "I don't know. He seems kind of human. Maybe we're wrong about Shaggy Man. Maybe he isn't a synthetic creation." And all of a sudden they start hearing the group singing "Silent Night, Holy Night." And Shaggy Man is like, "What is that?" And Firestorm says, "Shaggy Man's right. We need something with a beat." So he changes the music up, and the Justice League get their boogie on. We got some Teen Titans there too. You see Power Girl and Starfire and Huntress and ladies, and everyone's getting their groove on, shaking their groove thing. So then Vixen says it's time for Secret Santa gifts. But Shaggy Man doesn't have one to give. So there's one for Black Lightning from Black Canary, and it's lint brushes. Shaggy Man's watching all of this going down. There's a gift to Batman from Hawkgirl. It's a tie because he already had a nuclear defibrillator. We have other gifts being exchanged, like to Superman from Plastic Man. He says, remember the time you turned into the fattest man on Earth? Well, I had a picture of it framed. And he thanks him for that gift. And Shaggy Man's getting more and more intense listening to all this gift exchanging going on. And then all of a sudden, they say, and here's yours, Shaggy Man. They have a gift for him. And Vixen hands it to him. Go ahead, open it from all of us. And it's an adorable little teddy bear that they say even kind of looks like him. Plastic Man says, the shag looks a little choked up. Hey, Firehead, I think you can use some of that party punch of yours. And Shaggy Man is thinking to himself, maybe I can return that for store credit. They end up with Shaggy Man putting the star on the tree, singing Old Lang Syne, and wishing everyone happy holidays in a story called Party Animal.
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
That was quick. That was interesting, and I love it.
Before you start, I want to say salute to the immortal Biggie Shack, who's joined us, and we have Kicks and Comics here. What's going on, Kicks and Comics? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, let me make this a little bigger here.
So I don't even know what story you picked because we kind of did a pick your own story thing tonight.
Yeah. So this comes from the pages of New Year's Evil, the year 2020, New Year's Evil 2020. Really cool book. This was a very funny story. This one's pretty funny. Not as funny as yours, but it's great. Okay. So Black Adam is actually at the North Pole in some island that I can't pronounce the name of. And it's magic. So he can read magic. He has the power of magic. It's not a problem. So he speaks the word. The gates open. He's met by these big, hairy gorilla elf guys. And they say, turn around and get out of here. Spoken in ancient Byzantine tongues. That's what the little caption says down here. Black Adam says, hey, I got business to be here. Where's the boss? I want to talk to him. They say, that ain't gonna happen. Fighting occurs. Black Adam kind of beats these gorillas. And then we turn back we go to Kahndaq. We're going back before he came to the North Pole. He finds this little girl. It's Christmas time. And he says, little girl, what are you doing? She's waiting for Santa to come bring presents. And Black Adam's like, who's Santa? And she explains how Santa works. And he goes around the whole world and delivers presents. But he never comes to Kahndaq. Because keep in mind, Kahndaq and Themyscira are very similar. They're surrounded by magic. They are invisible to the outside world. No one can see them. And Black Adam's like, wait a minute. Like, there's children in Kahndaq. So, like, why doesn't he come here? We cut back. He's defeated the gorillas and the elves. And he's teleported into an ancient civilization. So he went from the North Pole to wherever this place is. Or all these green elves or whatever. And he's like, hey, I know he's here somewhere. Where is he? And sure enough, here's the boss. He kind of looks familiar. Big red suit, white hair, white beard. And he's like, listen, what's going on? I got beef with you. And the unknown person says, you've brought evil and death to this place. Like, you need to leave right now, or I'll be forced to do so. And he's like, you can try. So this huge fight is about to go down between Black Adam and this unknown person. We cut back to Kahndaq, and this little girl is still telling Black Adam about Santa Claus and how Christmas is awesome and it's a time of family and these wonderful Kahndaq-y traditions. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I think I know what to do now. So he goes off and to do whatever he needs to do. We cut back to this place. And Black Adam has beaten this guy in battle. And his name is, I can't read it. Inclaws, Wizard of Myra, Wizard of Myra, Inclaws, the Wizard of Myra. So Black Adam whips out a map and said, "Look, this is Kahndaq, and since I'm not going to kill you, you will bring presents to all the Kahndaqi children, and if you don't, I will come back, and it won't end well for you." And the next day, the family has a really nice Christmas. They left cookies and milk out for this wizard, and she got her presents because
Nice.
Black Adam went to the North Pole and beat up Santa Claus until he agreed to go to Kahndaq.
Nice.
Which, when I think of Christmas, I think of violence, greed, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
it's a
what
very
book
Christmas
was that
story.
from? Or that story came from what book?
That came from New Year's Evil 2020.
Oh, cool.
So if you see this laying around, it's probably a dollar bin book, but it's pretty cool. There's a lot of stories in there. I was thumbing through it. I found the Wonder Woman one. I don't even know how they put it in here as like a Christmas story because it has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas. It's just a fight with Ares. That's all it is.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for stopping by. So that's our retro review. The DC Comics and other pop culture Christmas ornaments, Hallmark, are out in stores now. At least the first wave are. And there's a Black Adam one for this year.
Really?
Have you seen it yet, or are you planning on
I have
getting
not,
it?
but I
haven't seen that
never
one
knew
yet,
about
but-
it, so I
Yeah,
probably will if I come across it.
They've been doing Wonder Woman ones for several years now. Last year was a Golden Age one to celebrate the 80th anniversary. This year they're back doing a Gal Gadot style one.
Cool.
I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm definitely planning on it. So, and they usually do like Batman 66 villains each year too. Last year they had a fantastic Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. And they've had Yvonne Craig as Batgirl and Cesar Romero as Joker before. Those are really cool.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I'll have to look into that. You said they're Hallmark exclusive?
they're at the Hallmark stores or on their website.
Interesting. I'll have to see how much they are. We can put a Black Adam ornament way up top of my tree this year.
I ended up at the beginning of this year getting a bunch of the Peacemaker ones that were clearanced out.
Yeah, I'm teaching my little one about.
I thought I lost you for a second.
Oh, I think you're lagging there pretty hard, but it's okay. It's all right. He froze. He froze.
Okay.
And then
you're teaching your little one what?
Oh, maybe he's back. Oh, now you're not frozen anymore. Okay, so
you were frozen. Too.
Oh, well, who knows? Maybe it's a stupid storm. Who knows? But yeah, my 3-year-old knows what superheroes are. She's been down in the office. She's seen some cartoons, but one thing that she really enjoys is watching the Injustice 2 intros when like two characters meet. They like talk a little bit of smack. And she really enjoys when Black Adam and Wonder Woman like start talking to each other, and Wonder Woman would always say like, you can't defeat me, I'm practically a god, and Black Adam's like, I'm 6 gods. When it made me think, like, how do they not know about each other? Like, how did the Amazons not know about the wizard Shazam and the Rock of Eternity? Who knows? I thought it was kind of a neat little plot hole.
You were talking at the beginning of your retro review and your story that Black Adam, can read magic, he can speak magic, but I'll tell you what, Olivia Newton-John can sing magic.
Yes, she can. Yes, she can.
And I've heard her sing it live twice.
I've not. I never really went to many concerts. I did go to Ozfest one time. when I was in high school.
Is
It
that
was pretty fun.
is that at the end of the Yellow Brick Road?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly where it is. And it was in Wisconsin too.
Oh,
Appleton, I believe.
Appleton.
Appleton. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess it's time for a book show and to talk about what's coming up on our channels. And Mr. Tony, I'll let you go first.
Let me see here if I can make this work. So the question arose as to what I picked up at the convention. Not that screen. Let me see if I can find it. It is this one. So yeah, went to a convention, picked up some cool stuff. And it wasn't, like I said, it was a pretty horrible experience, but I did manage to get a signature that I never thought I was going to get. Just because I never really knew much about this person. And that is on the cover of Convergence Batgirl, I got Mr. Leonardi right above Batgirl's head, almost in the gorilla's mouth.
Nice.
Turns out he's lives super close to me. I had no idea. So I got that signed. And I did also start not one, but two long-term signature projects on top of the many that I already have.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the DC Comics Encyclopedia, new edition. This is an awesome book, by the way.
Yeah, I paged through that when I was at Books A Million.
It's worth it to pick it up. I got it at Costco on the cheap.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited about it. So I started getting signatures from everybody. Kind of tough to see, but up here we have Jeff Isherwood.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dave Sharp somewhere, and gosh, the name escapes me already. I don't remember, but I started both of them.
Oh, two of them.
So they were, I got two of them. I got two copies. So I'm lugging that around the conventions, getting them to sign. And fun story. So I was chatting with Jeff Isher. I don't know how to say his name. I apologize. To me, it looks like Isherwood, but I probably am saying that wrong. We were chatting about his work on the 1980s Suicide Squad run with John Ostrander, and he was telling me how awesome it was to work with John, how much of a cool dude he is, and he signed the other one. And he was thumbing through it, and he was kind of reminiscing, and it was kind of cool to watch, the master kind of work, and he was looking at some of the inside work. It's on page 302. I'm getting there. Oh yeah, I got these. That's for something else. But we think I'd be prepared. Right here. So he actually also signed, where is it? I don't know if you can see it a little bit. It's getting a glare.
Oh, I see it at the top.
Yeah. He also signed the page where some of his artwork was being displayed. So that's kind of neat. But he didn't do it on the other one, and I'm glad he didn't, because I was holding up the line. And by line, I mean everyone was trying to get around me. That was kind of neat. We got to meet whoever the heck this guy is. Back up a little bit so you can see that. Some epic, I don't even know, Boba Fett cosplayer. I have no clue who this guy is. Never met him before, never seen him in my life. But he has his own trading cards, and he signed the back of every single one of them.
Did you tell Boba? Did you tell Boba that you're Tony Fett?
I did. I gave him one of my business cards, and he didn't really seem to care.
Okay.
So I got his cool trading card for, whatever it's worth. I got it. If anyone needs it, let me know. I got multiples. So that was my convention experience.
Very nice. Anything coming up on your channel?
Yeah, I think I'm going to talk gonna start talking about some of these autographs. I was gonna do a video about this particular convention, but I really don't feel like the need to. I don't want to badmouth these people because they will not be my friends anymore. But I think, I got some more stuff coming up on Wednesday. More Signature King appearances. A lot of shorts planned, so lots of stuff. Stay tuned.
If you haven't watched his Signature King shorts, it's worth it for the ascot alone.
The ascot tie, yeah. I bought that. My wife was like, "What do you need that for?" And I explained to her what I was doing, and she's like, "Whatever." I really don't care. As long as you're spending your own money, I don't care.
There goes $7 that we could have had.
Yeah, right. She's like, I have a whole closet of ties. I used to have to wear a nice suit and tie job all the time.
Yep.
So I probably got like close to 50 to 100 ties.
Awesome. Well, on my channel, so we did a Christmas in July retro review tonight. I'm kind of following up on that theme tomorrow with my back issue of the week short, and it's a DC Comics Christmas themed one. And the backstory, it's not so much, the book is really good and the artwork's good and it's a fun little story, but the story that happened behind the scenes is much more interesting, I think, than the actual issue itself. So I talk a little bit about that and give you a lot of details about this Christmas in July comic book in my YouTube short that's going to drop tomorrow, the back issue of the week. On Tuesday, I'll be dropping a comic book editions video. It's an all Marvel one, Make Mine Marvel. Some Bronze Age and Beyond books that I've recently added to my collection. This past week, I did a cover by video with Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast, and we did one on Thor, since there's a new Thor movie that's a big hit in theaters right now. And also in this past week, I did a comic book editions video with a prize win from J Hood Creative that contains a Silver Age DC book that made me giddy. I was so happy when I saw that this was part of this prize pack he was giving away. I mean, there were some great books in there too, but when I saw this one DC Silver Age book, I literally was giddy. And then I ended up winning the entire thing, and I was so excited. So that unboxing is already up on my channel right now. Can't hear you.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's always nice to win prizes. Every time I enter one of these little giveaways that everyone has going up, I always think, man, that is a cool prize, but the thought never pops into my head to ever enter.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I don't want to forget to do a book show because I promoted my channel, but I haven't done a book show. So my book show isn't going to be books tonight. So not only do I have this cool new Flash t-shirt, I got some Flash socks to go with it.
Wow. Where'd you get those?
At the great old Wall of Marts.
Oh, yeah?
Well, at least the socks I did. And you know what? Eat your heart out, Foo is a furry.
Oh, yeah. He'll be jealous.
I can handle the socks.
That's cool. That's very cool.
So my book show tonight is socks.
The sock show.
The sock show.
One of these days we'll have to all put on our DC superhero socks and put our feet up and have the camera angle so you can see them all.
Yeah.
Feet only chat.
maybe I can mix and match.
There you go. Something
to think about.
At superherostuff.com, if you place an order of $50 or more, they send you a free mystery pair of socks.
Nice.
You pick DC or Marvel, and it is complete mystery.
Jean says that he's posting an AOK video later tonight. So make sure to sub up everyone that's in the chat. That's appreciated. Links to the Fanboys channels, even the ones that are missing, are in the description for this video. So if you're not sub to any of us, please do so. It certainly is appreciated, and everyone puts out great content. But sub everyone up if you're not, because it's just such a great community to be supportive of one another and learn stuff and it's just a nice thing to do.
I'm pushing 600, so hopefully I get
it's awesome.
Cross that line here very soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, the Christmas in July edition. Anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh man, I don't know if I have one.
You don't? Okay.
Because when I worked retail, Christmas started in September.
Mhm. And that's when the music started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I worked for decades in radio, and new Christmas releases started coming to us in September. And the way I learned was as music director that don't wait. Listen to them as they come in because it's better. It's out of your two options of just waiting and having to deal with them all at once, or as they come in, it's better to do it as they come in. So for me,
Interesting.
Christmas started in September as well. At least
Interesting.
Christmas music did. People didn't hear it till November, but it's what it is.
But Christmas starts in September for everybody.
Yeah. Thanks
Very
for
cool.
if you're joining us in the rewind once again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who joined us live in the chat tonight. And exactly as Jean says, have a good evening, everyone, and stay safe. Join us for the next Fanboys Live in the Retro Review next week. Merry Christmas.